There's obviously so many ways that we're connected so people can reach us anywhere, anytime. But probably the most common way is through text. Now I'm talking about your standard kind of messaging that we receive on your phone, like an SMS or RCS type message. This would likely be the most trusted because it's your personal phone number that you give out to all of your friends and family. I mean, even businesses, banks, and e-commerce all use it to verify your identity. So what's wrong with that? Now, if you've had your phone number for a while, you've got to know anyone can look it up. And of course, this includes people with bad intentions. I'll tell you some mistakes that I made when I gave out too much information, and it even got me out of the safety of my own home. This is my SoCon life. Like most of us on the weekend, I was just at home relaxing, watching TV, and then I got a random text message thanking me for some kind of purchase of audio equipment. The problem is, I didn't order any audio equipment, or anything else for that matter. At a quick glance, I thought I was going to be out of pocket for $500, and I wanted to go ahead and get it handled as quickly as possible so I could get it reversed. Now, I know it's kind of ironic that the scammer was actually using a phantom scam to commit an actual scam. These guys will do anything. Now, there was an order number and a phone number to click on, so I figured I'd go ahead and call that. Now, this was not a web link to click on. I know better than that, but I thought it's just a phone number. I could give it a call and I'd be able to handle it that way. At least I'd be able to find out more information. So I called the number and spoke to someone, and he explained this was actually an Amazon purchase, but I told him that I never made any purchase. So he understood this seemed to be some kind of fraudulent activity on my Amazon account, and he would be able to help me with this. So he asked me to help him to pinpoint where the situation might be and wanted me to read off any of the last 4 digits of the credit cards that I had that might be attached to this Amazon account. So I pulled out my wallet and I started going through each card. And I read off the last 4 digits of each card one by one. But by the time I got to the 3rd or 4th card, something seemed kind of off. He wanted to kind of move on to the next step, it seemed. Like he really wasn't trying to pay attention to what I was saying. But I was just so desperate to make sure I wasn't going to get charged the $500 that I just kind of shrugged it off. And then he told me that he was going to be able to escalate this to the next department and they would be able to call me back here shortly. So after just a couple of minutes, I actually received a call from a different number. And this person told me that they were from the Amazon fraud department and that he would be able to help me out with the situation. So what he told me is what I needed to correct and remedy this situation was an Amazon secure card. And that way we could be able to attach it to my account to kind of reset everything to make sure it was protected again. So he told me I could actually get one of these through the Amazon shipping center or some kind of Amazon facility that might be in my area. Now, I did know there was actually one that was here in town, but it was kind of on the other side, so it was a little bit far away from where I lived. But then he thought that he might be able to help me find another one that might be closer. So he asked for my zip code, and I'd be able to look up something that might be a little bit more within my vicinity. So I gave him my zip code, and he looked up a few different locations that I could potentially go to for these Amazon secured cards. And we found one that was actually an Office Depot that wasn't too far from where I lived. So he told me that he would be happy to stay online with me as I drove to the Office Depot to go pick up one of these cards. So that's what I did. And I still had him on the same line the whole time I was actually driving there. So as I'm driving down the road in the rain on my way to Office Depot, I'm still talking to him while he's on the line. And he's explaining to me more about these Amazon secure cards. And now he's telling me that I'm actually going to need 2 of them and that they're $500 each. Now, this is an immediate red flag. And so I ask, why are they so expensive? But he tells me that, not to worry, that I won't be out of pocket on anything and that I would be immediately reimbursed. In fact, he said, go ahead and tell me what credit card you want to use, and then I'll go ahead and reimburse you right now, credit that amount to your card right now. So I tell him which card I'm going to plan to use, and then moments later I receive a text, and it tells me that I'm going to actually receive the $1,000. But that wasn't good enough for me, so I wanted to check it even further. So I actually logged into my banking app that was part of that credit card, but it hadn't shown up yet. And so I actually had him on mute while I'm trying to identify this. And then I think he realized there was some dead silence in the phone call. So he hung up or I would say the call dropped, but I'm sure he actually hung up. And then he called right back. And he asked me, was there any problem? I said, well, I just haven't seen it yet. He goes, don't worry, it's there, it'll be there, it'll be fine. The thing is that he doesn't realize is that I don't have an available amount of credit on that credit card to make the purchase of these cards. So we're kind of stuck until I actually get that amount on there to even do anything further. But I still had him on the line, and I'm walking in the store, and he's explaining to me, trying to describe where I'm going to find these Amazon Secure cards. But I'm still all confused trying to figure out where I'm going to find these because I don't know what I'm looking for exactly. And then he directs me over to where the gift card display is. The kind of gift card display that you find all the different restaurants and retailers and other things that are on there that you can get gift cards for. And that's when I realize he doesn't want me to purchase any Amazon Secure cards. He wants me to purchase some Amazon gift cards for him. And so now I realize what's going on. And so I'm beginning to kind of stall and kind of tell him that I'm not sure about this. This doesn't seem right. And he tries to smooth things over and explain to me everything's going to be fine. And then I still kind of say that, I don't understand. This doesn't make sense to me. And then that's when he kind of just gives up and says, F you, and hung up on me. I then left the store confused, but a little relieved. And I never heard from him again. He basically just got tired of dealing with me and gave up. My guess is the first person I spoke to sounded a little younger and probably a scammer in training. And I guess that it was his job to actually get people on the line and then hand it off to someone else that would be able to walk the rest of the way through. But probably because I was asking too many questions, he either thought that I was on to him or just wasn't worth the trouble. So he just moved on. This was an interesting one because I wanted to see how far it would go. These scammers are well prepared, and the ones that have been doing it for a while know exactly what to say, and the answers they give can be quite convincing. Just as I said in the past, continue to ask questions because it's easy to come up with a quick message to send out or show off a pre-prepared image, but it takes a lot more skill and experience to come up with a convincing answer on the fly. Even as I was preparing to do this video, I actually received another text message that appeared to be a scam. Only this time, it was actually from the US Post Office. Now, the big no-no on this one is the clickable URL. Never click on the URL unless you're absolutely sure of where it's coming from. The other thing is if you read the message, you notice it's very generic, and they're asking for more information. But the big clue that this is fake is the phone number it's coming from is not even within North America. I mean, how is the United States Post Office trying to send you any kind of contact info and it's not even coming from a phone number within the United States? The point is that Amazon was one method and the US Post Office was just another method. I've even had messages come through from certain airlines, but the tactic is all the same. Now, if you're receiving a message that you're not expecting or it comes from a source that you're just not sure about, the best thing to do is just don't click on anything and ignore it. But if it does happen to be something you need to follow up on, then try to contact the company or organization through other means that doesn't use the information provided in the message you received. Now it's your turn to share. Did you click on something you shouldn't have? How far did you get into the scam? We need to warn others to watch out. We are working to build this community to protect the innocent and help the victims. Feel free to leave a comment and click that like button to help boost the algorithm and awareness. Be sure to come back for more videos and stories, so subscribe and click the bell so you know when a new video posts. I'll see you next time.